This is a pretty dreadful day, not gonna lie. But this week we've got the BYD Sealion 7. A rather handsome looking beast, I think you'll agree. Large wheels, 20 inches. It's an SUV, coupe style, and I think this is one that they've got just right. This has moved BYD into a different stratosphere, and those LEDs at the back do a little dance when you get in. You can see that this is the 4.5 second to 100 model because it's got 4.5S on the back. Frankly, I think that's a little bit of overkill, but there you go. There are several different ways of getting into the car. You can use your app, which we've not been able to connect. You can use the key, which is just in your pocket. And if you have the key in your pocket, the kick to open and close function of the tailgate will work. So this dual motor all-wheel drive EV has the usual amount of space in the back, which is more than acceptable, but it's full of speakers back here for the Dynaudio sound system. There's little pull-out bag hooks so that you can put at least one bag in the back and it won't slide around. And there's underfloor storage, a small amount of it, for cables, which you access with this really classy handle. For a change, it's not cheap plastic. And for 68,000-ish on the road, I think this is pretty classy. Annoyingly, the handles keep going in and you've got to touch the little buttons on the front if you don't have any of the keys on you or whatever to get in, but that's okay, I can put up with that. But have a look at this. There is so much space in the back with the seat set for me that you could just about have a party back here. And that's got to be at least 30 centimeters on the other side. There's also some rather charming mood lighting. It's so comfortable. The upholstery is lovely, sensational. Overhead there's a sunroof, which I've got closed. The rear seats are heated. You can control that from here or from the front. There's some USBs as well as the outlet. One of the USBs is a USB-C. And there's multi-pocketed map pockets. And there isn't an ugly or cheap tacky surface to be seen anywhere in this car. And I know it's a bit miserable, but as you grip the door handles, it feels really solid. You can't really see it, but the NFC reader is here on the mirror, and that's the only thing I'm not really fussed on. With the car switched on, you've got a full instrument panel in front of you. You'll notice rather worryingly the tyres are at 43.7 PSI. That's way more than I'd have them at. I'll have to get that looked at. I don't know if it's going to show up, but the head-up display is just there, which gives me basic road data, including driving data, and turn data if I've got even Google Maps activated. This panel does light up as well. There's not an ugly surface, full of beautiful, soft, gentle curves. And everything is elegant and tasteful. There's even a boot release down below. The main tablet couldn't be easier to use. There's just symbols for everything, and whatever you press does something in the main. You can see here, for example, that my phone is charging. And that's it, down here on the 50-watt charger that's ventilated. Below that, some really tasteful looking controls. Let me wipe the water off. That's the regenerative button, parking, the little gear lever, drive mode, start stop, which by the way, you don't need to use. There's climate control for auto, on off, and the window defrosting. You can turn the side monitors off if you want, and the auto brake hold. This is the button and scroll for the radio. Many of those things you're not going to use because this car pretty much does everything itself. And these steering wheel controls are very easy to use and also very classy. I had a friend's 9-year-old in on the weekend and he absolutely loved this. The car controls, for example, you can turn the hotspot on, you can get to your ADAS, all of the apps and system displays, you can get to audio, you can adjust the Dynaudio. Very, very upmarket for any car, let alone one in this price range. There are no warning gongs. You can even do things like have intelligent high beam on or off. I don't know why you'd want it off. The door open warning, emergency lane keep assist, and you can have the windows closed at, I think it's around 80 kilometers an hour. You can adjust things like the instruments, the head-up display, the seats, for example. You can adjust the driver's seat from here and save a position. Only for the driver, even though the passenger does have electric adjustment. This is where the heating and cooling for the front seats and heating for the back seats can be controlled. There's a heated steering wheel and heated mirrors. But how's this for a party trick? The 9-year-old loved this. Not in all modes, but you can press that button and it goes from landscape to portrait. The air conditioning controls can be a little bit finicky. All of the settings that you really want are across the top, but I've just left it in automatic for it to do its own thing. So, we set off, and of course we're in silence. I've heard the doors lock. Remember, 4.5 seconds to 100. And most of us don't ever want to go 4.5 seconds to 100. Why would you want to? Notice that I've got an offside monitor. So as well as the lights in the mirrors, I also get a warning in the head-up display, and I get that little readout in the side. If left in automatic, the lights will do their own thing. They'll come on when they need to. The ride, absolutely, it's amazing. Steering is nice and light. Many of these attributes you can adjust, and they do adjust with the drive mode setting, but I haven't really fiddled much with that this week. The next thing is the range. On the website, this says it's got a WLTP of, I think it was around 460 kilometers. When I got this car, it had 530 or something. While we're standing still, I'll show you quickly some of the apps. You can have our stream Amazon Music, navigation, etc., Spotify, etc., etc. It requires you to be logged into those things, of course, with your own account. All of that's linked to your profile. I think that's one of the reasons that it's not brought on the warning bongs, the driver attention warning, overspeed warning, and all of that sort of stuff. Now that I've got the sunroof open too, by the way, you can see that it is a fixed piece of glass with just an internal cover. We've had a few hailstorms of late, and a lot of people have had their glass roofs smashed. Just see if the window... I was just investigating to see if that window was double paned, and it is. You can feel two pieces of glass laminated together. That's why this cabin is so quiet. And this is just perfection. For this kind of money, the Koreans and the Japanese can't come anywhere near it. The Germans are completely out of the race. There's one more thing too. America won't allow Chinese cars in, because if America allowed Chinese cars in, there wouldn't be an American car industry. Australia doesn't have that problem because Australian car industry was killed off by the Liberal government about a decade ago. But I did notice that the streaming, I had some music streaming from my phone, and every now and then it would kind of black out as if it had a dead spot. Now remember, CarPlay requires Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi can be a little bit spotty. And
ICC activated.
ICC is intelligent cruise control, by the way. It does that every time you turn it on and turn it off. It's also brought up a little display. I'm doing it at tunnel, so hopefully you can see it. You can see when the brake lights are on, and you can see what the lane markings are. Apart from these buttons down here, no other buttons are physical except for the steering wheel buttons. And you're not really using those for things like outside air, etc. Hey BYD.
What's up?
Turn outside air back on.
Sure, I'll turn on fresh air mode.
This also has a brilliant air purify mode. If there's a whole lot of dust or pollen in the air, it brings up a little thing. So this is 5 out of 10. There's a feeling of cocoon safety. And this BYD actually feels quite luxurious. The lane control is extremely gentle. At speed, it's not trying to jerk the steering wheel out of my hands, although admittedly we've slowed down, but it's not obtrusive. In no way is this obtrusive. So to wrap up, the ride is superb. Handling on these fancy shock absorbers is very good, but you can still feel a lot of weight of the battery. But I think it is certainly equal to anything that's coming out of Europe. That's all this week for the BYD Sealion 7. What a great car. Beautiful to drive, lovely and quiet, plenty of range. I give it top marks. As always, hit like, leave a comment, and just over on the round thing to subscribe.